वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय Reading from Gita, chapter number 2, text number 3. क्लैब्यमास्मगमपार्था नैतत्त्वयि उपपद्यते क्षुद्रं हृदय दौर्बल्यं त्यक्त्वा तिष्ठा परन्तपः. Translation purport given by His Divine Grace Srila Bhaktivinoda Swami Srila Prabhupada. O son of Pritha, do not yield to this degraded impotence. Give up such pity, weakness of heart, and arise, O chastiser of enemy. Purport. Arjuna was addressed as a son of Pritha, who happened to be the sister of Krishna's father, Vasudeva. Therefore, Arjuna had a blood relationship with Krishna. If the son of Kshatriya declines to fight, he is a Kshatriya in name only. And if the son of Brahmana acts impiously, he is Brahmana in name only. Such Kshatriyas and Brahmanas are unworthy sons of their father. Therefore, Krishna did not want Arjuna to become an unworthy son of a Kshatriya. Arjuna was the most intimate friend of Krishna, and Krishna was directly guiding him on the chariot. But in spite of all these credits, if Arjuna abandoned the battle, he would be committing an infamous act. Therefore, Krishna said that such an attitude in Arjuna did not fit his personality. Arjuna might argue that he would give up the battle on the grounds of his magnanimous attitude for the most respectable Bhishma and his relative. But Krishna considered that sort of magnanimity mere weakness of heart. So false magnanimity was not approved by any authority. Therefore, such magnanimity of so-called nonviolence should be given up by the person like Arjuna under the direct guidance of Krishna. Dear devotee, just give me a couple of minutes. I have to change my location. Please give me a couple of moments. Hare Krishna. Sorry about that. So, ओमज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकथा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं. वञ्चाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधरा शिव गौर भक्त वृंद. हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. मुखं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरो दीनतारिणम्. Hare Krishna. So Krishna here explaining further to what he has spoken in sloka number 2. before we go into the details, dear devotees, we need to understand the magnanimity of the Lord. What is his position? Who is he? Because that is what Srila Prabhupada mentioned in text number 2. Padanti tattva vidastaknam yajnanam abhyam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavaniti sabde. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is the source of everyone, Brahman, Paramatma, and he himself is a Bhagavan. Through him only everything is emanating. Bhoktaram Yagyatapasam, Sarvalokam, he is the master of everything. All proprietor is a source of everything. So one shouldn't be worried or understand that whatever so-called things which are happening in one's life, it's only temporary. If time comes, it will heal. The time is changing, it will heal. So any difficulties to the body or any difficulties through the relationships, it's all temporary. Because why are we discussing that is Arjuna's relationship, Arjuna's situation, I mean. Arjuna's situation is very temporary. Please understand. Likewise, if you are going through any difficulty, through health crisis or anything, it's all temporary. We don't have to worry too much about it. I'll tell an instance. Let's take an example. Let's say you purchased a new car, and then there is a crack, or there's a crack, there is a there's a some crack on the car. People do get so much worried about it. They continuously think about it left and right. But devotees are not like that because they understand. I myself am temporary. I myself means I am permanent, but this body is temporary. Body can go through calamities. The so-called car which you purchased cannot be. We cannot be attached to that. Now, is it easy? Is it easy to come out of that? It's not easy. But if a person is fully fixed up in the science of Krishna consciousness, which then he will not see any obstruction. Rather, what is happening is just continuously thinking about it. What's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? This is a big car, new car. There's a small story on this. One day, a father noticed his son scribbling on a new purchased car. He has taken a sharp stone, then is trying to scribble on the car. Then the father was very furious. He immediately beat up the child left and right. So much, he paid so much. The child is like 7, 8 years old. He beat the child. He left and right. He did left and right. And then after that, the child was crying profusely. His love towards his father was never diminished. He was crying. The father heart melted, seeing the cry of the son. Then he hugged the son. Then afterwards, he would see what the son has actually written. He has written on the car, I love you, dad. Oh, the father's heart was broken at that time. Initially, he was thinking, Arey, this child was scribbling. But later on, when he has seen what he has actually written, he was he was ashamed of himself what he has done. For a temporary, unnecessary thing, he was keeping his son in a difficult state. Dear devotees, don't we see these things happening in our life? We have children, we put them down for unnecessary things. We tell them, don't do this, don't do this. Oh, what will happen? They will learn. But generally, through Rajo, what happens is we cannot control ourselves. We try to put them down. We never become friends of our children. Rather, we are kind of a strict parents, which will not help the child. The child understands everything. Doesn't he have our qualities? He'll understand. But that understanding is not matured. It will take some time. It doesn't mean that we don't correct them. We correct them, but it should be, one shouldn't correct always. One should correct only when it's required. If you're correcting every time, not giving love, it's a problem. So likewise, these days, the devotees are not practicing the science of Krishna consciousness. They give importance to these assets. My new car, my new this, new that, so many other things. And then they don't give importance to the relationships. Now, what is whole point of Krishna consciousness? Here, Arjuna is also telling, oh, what's going to happen to them after 20 years, 30 years? What's going to happen to all those people? He's telling all the reasons. And then he's telling, he's not fighting because he doesn't want to follow the instruction of the Lord. See, whoever doesn't want to follow the instruction of the Lord, they will be kept in a bewildered state, which we see. And then Krishna wanted Arjuna to come out of that bewildered state. That is why Krishna is telling, Vaibhyam Masham Gamapartha, Shubram Hridaya Daurbalyam, Shudram Hridaya Daurbalyam, Takto Tista Parantapa. Oh Arjuna, what has happened? Please wake up. See, actually, these are the words where Arjuna will reciprocate one more time, will retaliate one more time before he comes to stable state of submission. And Lord is actually waiting for that stable state. Now he understands the situation. Doesn't he understand our situation? Doesn't the Lord understand our situation, dear devotees? He understands everything. So if the Lord understands our situation, then why do we have to think too much about that? Yesterday we were bringing that aspect, right? If you begin thinking too much about a particular situation or a scenario, will that help you? No, it doesn't help. We are like a speculators. We just speculate. Speculators are what? What's going to happen here? What's going to happen there? What will happen here? What will happen there? Why things are shaping up like this? Why things are shaping up like that? Continuous discussion. This is what is happening in this material world. One person will discuss about the other person will discuss about the other person. They will not keep quiet. This is the nature of this world. The tongue, vacho vegam, manasa krodha vegam. Everyone is discussing about the other person only. It's like Bhagavatam. They understand. Everyone is conditioned only. Why? If a conditioned soul is thinking about the other conditioned soul, what will happen? It will not give any benefit. Now, Arjuna is a pure devotee. He is expressing his heart, but immediately he surrenders because he's a pure soul, na. But a conditioned soul is not like that. Conditioned soul is what? Conditioned soul sometimes he hears, sometimes he doesn't hear. He has no stability. He gives importance to so many other things. I'll give this beautiful example which touched my heart. And then I always aspire to do this. Srila Prabhupada, when he was in Vrindavan Yatra with his spiritual master, the last day of the Yatra came. And then they made an announcement stating that you have two choices. You can go and then visit the Sheshasai temple, take darshan of the Lord, and then come back. Otherwise, or you can sit here in the pandal, spiritual master is giving the class. Everyone left. Nobody, because no interest. No one has asakti towards Shravana. Very few people will have asakti. A lot of people will have asakti to take darshan of the Lord, but they don't have asakti to do Shravana. Because actually through Shravana we take darshan of the Lord only. That's what Srila Prabhupada actually shown through his life. So what Srila Prabhupada did was, He did not go and went took darshan. He said, I don't know when I'll hear again from my spiritual master. Let me sit. Personal association. Let me sit. And then he sat and then he heard very attentive. Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur was very pleased. Later on during the initiation time, when one of the temple president was introducing Abhay Srila Prabhupada to Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur as, this Abhay Babu is a very nice devotee. He does donation also for our center very nice. He's a very nice person. He's a grihastha. He donates very nicely. He does good services. He does preaching also. And then Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, I know this Abhay Babu is a very good devotee. He hears very nicely. So whoever is hearing very nicely, they will get all the benefit. Because that day, when everyone was going to Sheshasai temple, only a few devotees were there with Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And among them was Abhay Charan, Srila Prabhupada. The Prabhupada emphasizes this a lot. And Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur also tells, Arey, your darshan of taking darshan of the Lord without having any good consciousness, what we will see? We cannot see anything. It's only exercise to the eye. We will not get any realizations or any reflections. Realizations and reflections will be given to us by the acharyas and the spiritual master. With that realization, when we go and see, then the deities will look great. So I wanted to keep this in the consciousness continuously. Why? Because this is what Srila Prabhupada aspired. This is what my spiritual master also aspires. That is what I also want to aspire. Because if I follow in their footsteps, what is happening? The the mercy flows. Dharmasya tattvam nihitam guhayam mahajanayana gataso. That means the flow of the transcendental vibration. This chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra is what? Transcendental sound vibration. That will flow. The mercy from Guru Parampara will flow. But here, if you say Krishna is chastising Arjuna, why? Because he is not following his instruction. Because Arjuna is thinking so many other things. He has his own understanding. So, is that understanding bad? And understanding is not bad, but that is not good either. It is in between. That means that will give him some punya. For sure, whatever Arjuna, dear devotees, whatever Arjuna spoke in chapter 1, he'll get punya for that. For sure. Because he's quitting up the battle, he doesn't want anything. He's in a selfless state. He'll get pious credits for that. But that is not pleasing the Lord. Because Lord doesn't want, because we are not here for pious credits, dear devotees. Are we here for pious credits? Are we here to go to Sargaloka? No. We are not here to go to Sargaloka. Sargaloka is is another place in this material world only, where you have a better standards of living, far more better than America, better standard. So, but that will not give satisfaction to the heart. So that's why Krishna is telling, what is the problem? Klaibyam masma kamapartha naitatvai upapadyate. Why are you behaving like this? I've never seen you like this. Why are you speaking like this? And actually, he says, oh son of Prita. This means he has a relation. He's the son of Kunti Maharani. That means Krishna has a personal family relation also. That's why he's taking that as an advantage, and then, because they have good relation. Krishna is chastising. If the disciple cultivates good relationship with one spiritual master, what happens? He will receive the chastisement. Chastisement is also love, actually. If the spiritual master is not chastising the disciple, the relationship is not yet established. It is not deeper. If the relationship is deeper, if the disciple is hearing to what the spiritual master is telling, then that's a good ball game where chastisements are there, and then the disciple will accept those words. He will move forward and he'll make his life sublime. But if that is not there, then it will be surface level. So Arjuna is being chastised because he's actually feeling that relationship. No, Arjuna retaliates one more time before he submits. So, an understanding here, which Krishna is telling, so dear devotee, is one thing. If our we should understand what is our life meant for. We should ask this question. Is our life meant for making a livelihood? Yes, we will make a livelihood. There's no problem in that. Or is our life meant to be fully Krishna conscious? Or is our life meant for making livelihood and also becoming Krishna conscious? What is that? Which platform we want to settle? Because settlement is important because everyone is thinking. Now, as in US, I was asking this question: how many more years you'll work? Then they would always say, I need to get more HO1K. My HO1K should increase more. I'll work until 66, 67. Colleagues at the office was asking. 67, I'll retire. Then 77, 82, 85. Until 87, I have money to maintain myself. So, every person in this world trying to do some arrangements. What is that indicating? Everyone is thinking, because Lord has given that intelligence. Everyone is thinking. He said, that's all right. For this life, you're thinking nicely. But another question comes, what's going to happen after this life? Okay, you saved up so much. Let's say you saved up $2 million. And after that, this life is gone. What is the destination? Do we ever think about this? Arjuna is thinking. Just like Arjuna is thinking, why don't we think? Arjuna, what he's thinking in chapter 1, why don't we think like that? Arjuna is thinking, what's going to happen to all these people? He's thinking about others. Why don't we think about ourselves? Not about others. We should think about ourselves. Arjuna is telling, if I kill all these personalities, they will go to hellish planets. What is the Varna Sankara will be established, the society will be so much degraded. I don't want to kill because all these things will happen. Let's say on the other side, on the similar lines, if we think about ourselves, what's going to happen to us in the next life? Where do we go? Do we ever think like this? We deal just with current problems. Dear devotees, current problems are coming through past activities, not now. Abhi ka nahi hai wo. Whatever sinful activity which we have done earlier, it might not be in this life, it might be in the previous lives. No, you can say, oh, I did not see, I will not accept. If you do not accept, that's your problem. That's not my problem. That's not problem of Krishna. That's not the problem of our acharyas. Acharyas, they give the clarity. At the end of the day, it is our independence who we have to use correctly. Now, whatever suffering we are going through now, it's based on the previous life. Previous life, we might have committed sin. We have committed sinful activities. For that, we are suffering now. Now, if I'm repenting for that, if I'm lamenting profusely and then putting everyone down through this suffering, then we are sowing seeds for future suffering. The suffering will not stop. Exactly what Arjuna is telling. If I kill now, do you want me to go to hellish planets, Krishna? Let's say if I kill all these people, you stay nicely here. I will go to hell because I have to suffer for what I have done, what I've committed. It's a crime. It's a heinous act. And Arjuna is seeing that as a heinous act. That's why he's telling, I cannot do this because my heart cannot accept this because I know the scriptures. As per Guru Parampara, they're telling if you kill a people, you have to suffer. If I kill all these people, then I have to suffer. How can I go to hell? This is what he's telling. That means he's forcing the future. Now, immediately a question will come, why don't we foresee that? If a problem is coming tomorrow, please understand. Let's say a problem came to us today. Please understand, this problem is actually, it should be a driving force to elevate our consciousness rather than it should not be another force to degrade our consciousness. When we put the other person down, it is we are degrading our consciousness. Arjuna is not doing that. He is actually telling, I will not kill because he's thinking about the future. Let's say we should also think about the future. What's going to happen to me in the next life? Currently, this is what I am doing. Is this sufficient enough to go back home? This is a question we need to ask. Is this sufficient enough to go back home, back to God at what I'm doing right now? Or should I spend time to do some other activity that look Krishna conscious only? But whatever I'm doing, is that correct? ये सही है क्या? Will this help me to go back home, back to God? If not, then what should I do more? क्या करना है more? What else should I do? What else has to be done in my life? Just like Arjuna is asking, Arey, if I kill these personalities, I will go to hell. He has a clarity. Do we have a clarity? Do we have a clarity that whatever we are doing now will take us home back to Godhead? Do we have at least a clarity that we'll get a human form of life next? We have no clarity. We have no idea. No, what is that situation? Pathetic situation. Is it a good situation? Is it a good place? No, it is not a good place. Is this material world a good place? Who is telling it is a good place? Everywhere you see there is a quarrel, there is a hypocrisy, there is fighting. One person is envy to the other person. One country is envious to the other country, and then they're throwing bombs. They're not even thinking. There are so many civilians, so many normal people, children will also die. They're not thinking that. This envy is dominating now. They're not thinking. They're thinking about their power. Let's say in that, let's assume. Let's say some of our friends or some dear ones are there in that war, and then they left. What will be the situation? Pathetic situation. Unexpected thing. They went for some vacation. That thing happened, right? Recently. Some Indians died on the border. They just went for some visiting. The Pakistanis, they killed. This is a normal, this is a quite common thing which is happening these days. Everyone is affected through this. Every person is affected. Everyone wants their own thing. That means the present thing they want. They're not thinking about the future. Just like Arjuna is saying. That's why Arjuna is a great person. That means whatever he is thinking very logically. That's why Krishna is telling him Gita. If we begin thinking like this, you will make a lot of advancement. You'll make a lot of advancement. Very, very important. The science of Krishna consciousness is for application. Should be carefully observed. Should ask this question. Will I go back home, back to Godhead in this very lifetime? Whatever I'm doing, is this correct? I'm trying to become free from lust, greed, anger, envy, false ego, pride. I'm trying to chant Hare Krishna. I'm following four regulative principles. I'm not envious towards anyone. Is this good enough to take me home back to Godhead? Exactly, it is. If we do with the right attitude, we don't have to do anything else. We don't have to do. If we come to the state of pure devotion, if Krishna inspires us, we will do another. We will do more. Like opening up a small center or a temple so that others can be accommodated. But first, we should be convinced. That's what exactly I say. Are we convinced with this process? If we are not convinced with this process, we'll be cheating others who are coming to this process. I always ask this question to myself. Am I convinced with this process? Am I really convinced? If I'm not convinced, how can I give this conviction to others? That means if my conviction is not deep, then I will not give the deeper conviction. See, to introduce a person to Krishna consciousness is not easy. Is not the joke. Is not hard. If a person has little good background, the moment he hears this, oh, okay, then he will accept. It's not a problem. But to maintain or continue that person until he leaves the body, that requires conviction. Now, ask this question to ourselves. Will we be continuing this process until we leave this body? Forget about next life. Whether we will get human form of life or whether we'll come back to God. We should ask this question. Am I in a good state to continue practicing this science until I leave this body? A very practical question. Just like what Arjuna is asking, Krishna, why should I kill these people? Who are my family members? Why should I kill? Oh, you kill demons and then you're asking me to kill my family members? Krishna, what is this? Hare This is the next sloka is exactly that. What I just said. Krishna, Arjuna asks Krishna, "Why you kill all the demons and you asking me to kill my family members too?" Great question, actually. So we should ask this question to ourselves. Am I in a good state to continue this until I leave this body? Not continue like this, what we are continuing. We should continue more on a deeper level. Am I in that state? Or what is missing to come to that state? Where is my attachment? This is what we need to ask. Because if we do not ask this, Yamaraj will ask. Yamadutas will ask. For example, if a person thinking that he's practicing, but he's not actually practicing. You see, for him, whom he will see, he'll see Yamadutas when he leaves the body. He'll not remember the Lord because he has so many attachments of this world. There's no doubt he'll remember the Lord because 10,000 scorpions beating, very powerful pain. If somebody hits a slap on our face, all of a sudden we say, Amma. We don't say Krishna. We don't say Balramji. We don't say Radharani. We don't say Nithai, Nithai. We don't say Gauranga, Gauranga. We don't say Amma. We say Amma, Ayya. When somebody hits a slap right on our face. Or if we fell down unexpectedly, we say Amma, Babre. We say something in our regional language. We don't say Krishna. That itself is a proof that our consciousness is not yet fully purified. I'm telling practically. We need to check our heart, where we are. If that is not the case, then we should understand at the time of death it's difficult to remember the Lord. You know, I'll tell another practical situation. If a person doesn't fully practice this science and is about to leave the body, you know what? He'll have so many problems. Because entire life he has problems now. Because he'll think about the problems only at the time of death. Because he never saw this problem as just a problem. This is a temporary problem. This is a temporary state. The person doesn't understand that. Because he's fully engrossed in that problem. If a person is fully engrossed, "Arey, kya hoga, kya hoga, kya hoga," he's crying out. If a person is fully engrossed in that problem, he will never understand that this problem is temporary. He will think that this problem is permanent. That means if this state of consciousness continues up until he leaves the body, then he'll see that also is a permanent problem. Because he's thinking that the other person will die, but he has more time. Every person thinks like this only. For example, now I'll tell this. During the time of COVID, ours is a joint family in Hyderabad. Joint family in the sense we all have homes next to each other. My grandfather had 5 children. Three boys, two girls. They all stay together next to they they have homes next to each other. So during the time of COVID, there are elderly people. My two aunts, my father's elder brother, and my aunt's husband, and my aunt's son-in-law. Five people. Just within 6 months, they left. That means practically every 1 month we are going to graveyard during the time of COVID. Practically every 1 month we are going. Because it's 5, 6 months now, 6 months gap, five people left. My father was very weak at that time because was a very close connection with them. But he was practicing Krishna consciousness. The mercy of the spiritual mastery got initiated a couple of weeks back. At that time he was weak consciously. I was there with him, telling about Krishna consciousness, telling him, giving the moral support. I was next to him only. It's a beautiful arrangement, Adul. I am ever grateful to that. But what am I trying to tell here is every 1 month we are going to the graveyard. And a beautiful question came at that time. What is, I will tell that question, it will help you a lot, dear devotees. The question is, I asked this question to my spiritual master because it's the first time I met him. That was initial days. It was around 1920, 26 years back almost. I asked him, Prabhu, I've been practicing since few years now. And whenever I go to the graveyard, I see the body burning. It's a dead body burning. The soul has left. The body is burning like this. I'm getting a conviction that everything is very temporary here. And whatever I'm doing or whatever we're trying to think or do, if I'm actually dealing on this body plane, it's a problem. No, that conviction is coming. But what is happening is, once I come out of the graveyard, I literally remember those episodes of going to graveyard because I was very cautious, very, very conscious, trying to see everything around. It's a it's a complete tamoguna. That means the vibrations are not good at that moment. But I was intensely chanting. That is what I was doing. My heart and heart, I was chanting continuously. So the question which came is, at that moment, the truth seems to be uplifting. The truth seems to be the only shelter. The shelter of the lotus feet of the spiritual master is the only hope. This seems to be coming. But what is happening after coming out of graveyard is that absolute truth is diluting. That conviction that this everything is temporary in this world is diluting. Why is that happening? When I go there, it is not diluting, it is actually increasing. But when I come out of that, it is diluting. What is the reason for that? The interesting question. Because all of them were very close to our family. We're all family members of five people within 6 months, 6 to 9 months, all through COVID. So this question not didn't came with the first time me going to graveyard, after a few times going to graveyard. The conviction is increasing. But when we come out it, the conviction is going away. What is the problem? He gave a beautiful answer. He said, the association with which we are taking, that is diluted. What is the answer? The association which we are taking, After coming out of the graveyard, because at the graveyard you're completely dependent. You're taking shelter, you're actually seeing the truth. That means this body is temporary. Remember, it's a very sad part. They are completely taking off the gold rings, gold bangles. For the leg, they have some, I don't know how to tell in English. Everything they are taking off. I was literally seeing, Are, Babre, Are, the same person was very joyfully going to the store, purchasing it, seeing the bangles, matching gold bangles. Now that is taken away from that person. Now I'll tell the details of the answer, but let me conclude this. This is very important. Please remember these things, dear devotees. You'll make a lot of progress in Krishna consciousness if you really take this to your heart. The person is removing the bangles. Now, the same person who wore the bangle, they might have done a lot of shopping to find that exact piece. Now, that same person who is the soul, who's standing 6 feet away from the body, this is how the soul will stand. The soul will stand 6 feet away from the body. It will actually watch the body burning. The soul has to see. If they are devotees, they'll go back to Godhead. But if they are not devotees, the Yamadutas will stay next to them. Then they say, you see your body burning. And then that person will profusely lamenting because he will see, right? Bangles being removed. His own bangle. Now we make so many arrangements in this world. This arrangement, that arrangement, like this. Son should go here, daughter should go here, husband should work here, wife should work here. Let us do plan for next 10 years, next 10 years. Let me increase the 401k now so that I have this much, that much, so much maintenance. How many years more I have to pay the mortgage, this, that, so many, all these things, all this khichdi will go into the heart. This is consciousness. No, it's a conscious being. We are a jiva. The jiva, this khichdi will all go into the heart. And this khichdi will come at the end of the life. If we have attachment to that. That means the soul who is actually standing outside will be profusely lamenting. I know. Because scriptures won't speak lie. This is what exactly our shastras are telling. The soul will lament seeing the body being burnt, seeing all the attachments have been removed from that particular body. The soul is already gone. He cannot. He wanted to go inside the body again, but he cannot go because the body is useless anymore. Body is not useful for that soul to come back into the body. Now we use this body. I always think about this. How can I use this body, so-called body, for sense gratification? How can I use this so-called body for so-called happiness of this world? This itself is an illusion. If something is an illusion, can it have a sustenance? Doesn't have any sustenance because it is an illusion. Illusion doesn't have any sustenance. But this, we don't remember. So, to the point, to the question, that means the moment we come out of that graveyard, the truth is diluting because our attachments or association with this world is increasing. Because this world will show buy this, purchase this, new car, this, that, so many other things. New home, less price, low mortgage, low interest. Jump onto the new. This is what it will tell. When it tells that, we will forget the graveyard. We will forget the gravity or the absolute truth which we learned from the graveyard. That means, dear devotees, we will not see the presence of the Lord and His hand. Now, Krishna could have kept me in America only at that time. But no, he did not keep me. He did not keep me in America. He kept me in India at that time, so that I can experience all of these things and pray for those souls, for them, for better destination. Because as a responsibility, as a jiva, as a responsibility to pray for them. Then he said one more aspect. He told another aspect. He said, not being absorbed too much of the absolute truth. Two things. Attaching to the attachments of this material world means associating with this material world. Second, not developing deeper conviction of the absolute truth. Those two lead to delusion. If the attachment is reduced to this material world and the absorption in the absolute truth is increased, then we have no problem. Then our conviction is increased more. Then we are heading in the right direction. That means even if today we are leaving the body, we'll be in a better position. We should prepare our life like that. This happens when we cut all our attachments in this world. We are part of this world only, but we are not attached. That is an important aspect. We are here only, but we are not attached. We are with family only, but we are not attached. We have a relation, but we are not attached. That relation is coming to Krishna. We understand this relationship only until this body is there. He is only my son until this soul is there in this body. She is only my daughter until the soul is there in the. I have the responsibility until the soul is there in this body. Should ensure that the responsibilities are taken care, but we cannot be attached to that. This is a perfect logic Krishna is actually telling us in Gita. Now we cannot say that we are not acting also. We are actually dealing them as representatives of the Lord only. We are not dealing in any other fashion. Very important. We should all cultivate this consciousness. This is practical science. Arjuna was told you should kill your family members. He did it for the pleasure of the Lord. The Lord is telling you take care of your family members for my happiness on behalf of me. You take care of them. That doesn't mean that we are attached to them. We are taking care of them on behalf of the Lord. That means we should try to do our best to take care of them. This we need to do. Through this doing what you know what? If you get married also, your wife is not your permanent thing. That wife is not for sense gratification. Oh, she has a nice body, let me enjoy. No, she is not for that. If you are doing that, beatings will come. Prakriti will beat us like anything. Prakriti kriyamana gunai karmani shabad. Ahankara vimudatma kartam ityamani. Whoever is getting married, you should always think about this. My life is meant for service. I cannot engage myself. We are not here for doing honeymoon. We are here to serve Krishna. We are here to serve the Lord. It is a whole part, whole idea. If we are looking for so-called sense gratification, we will get that. We will not get Krishna conscious. Please understand this one more aspect. Whoever has a desire to do sense gratification in this world, that person will never understand the truth. Even if you build temple, even if you do so many things in this world, you will not go back. We will not go back to God because you have a desire to do sense gratification. That means even if we open big temple, let's say you have invested $2 million. Let's say you have $2 million. You have invested all $2 million, then purchased a huge temple, but you have a desire to do sense gratification. That is not worth. That will not help. We will not realize the presence of the Lord. I'm just giving an example. I'm just comparing. If a person is giving $2 million, he'll be in a selfless pain. He will not do any sense gratification. That's for sure. But I'm just giving an example. That means if that desire to enjoy in this world is there, we will go nowhere actually. We'll stay here only. Hare Krishna. So this we need to understand. Krishna is sharing another aspect. Eti chamsa kalapumsham. Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. Indriyani Yakalam Lokam Nidyanti Yugege. All the list of the incarnations of the Godhead submitted here are either plenary expansions or the parts of the plenary expansions of the Supreme Personality Godhead Krishna. That means who is Krishna? Samam Bonam. He is the source of Vishnu also. He is the source of Rama. He is the source of Vamandev. He is the source of every. Krishna is the source of. Then he again comes and then he expands. As through Shirodaka Sai Vishnu also he expands. But the root is Krishna. Hare Krishna. Anyone has any questions? Would like to ask anything, like to share?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, Navacharaki.
It's really blessed to hear from you about the real situations that you faced in the time of COVID. The same similar kind of situations that not much quite similar, but few situations that I faced in COVID situation. Those things are just when you are telling about those things, everything is passing in front of my eyes. It's like a picture. Uh, really, some situations will enlighten us to get into know about the reality and what is truth, and it will enlighten us to know that we are temporary at here. No more, we are not permanent. Everything will be is everything is a temporary. Really, it's great to hear from you again, to enlighten my consciousness towards Krishna. And I would like to know a few things about Krishna. These things, Prabhuji. I don't think like it might be like a personal. It would be helpful for some other also. Prabhuji, we all know that this Abhimanyu heard few words from mother womb when he was Arjuna is speaking about Padma Vyoham, all these things in such a way the people who are currently at the Krishna consciousness and they are going to get married or they are going to get engaged and going to get planning for a children. Is there any sources in either in USA or in India that we can adopt at least to stay at some places to have that Krishna consciousness around our mother nature, and at least from the day of birth, right, children can hear from the mother womb. It will help them to enlighten the Krishna consciousness from the day one, even after
Exactly.
birth. Is there any sources like that?
In US, in US is difficult. If you are really practicing, if you really want, as your desire is for pure devotion. But India is the best place for that, for your goals, for whatever you are setting.
Mm,
India is the best place for that. So, so that's your decision. Because US is a place of, sense gratification.
mm,
So, so it depends. But what you said is difficult to find in US.
mm,
And because everyone have their own understanding, their own reasons and logics. Um, they say that I will chant Hare Krishna and also go to office. I'll do this, that, so many other things. I will maintain good standard of living. It's difficult. It's difficult to practice pure devotion. But to your aspirations, India is a solution for that. But again, it depends based on what your goals and aspirations are. What is your requirements? All these things will come into consideration. So again, it depends from person to person.
but we should not live our karma, right? And I mean that by living what we want to do or what we are currently doing, it's completely living our karma is also not good, right? Doing our
Correct. That
thing.
is what you said is absolutely true. When you are staying at a place where you're bound to do lot of karmas, especially in places like America or Australia or Europe, where you have facilities, but you do not have that much facilities which are available in India. So it depends. It depends what is your choices. It depends what's your goals. Because karma is in everyone's hand. One can change one's own karma through his decisions. Decisions do impact a lot in one's life. Actually, it will change the karma plane completely if we take right decisions at right moment. Because to get a devotee is also not easy. So for that, the devotee should be very sincere to what you're mentioning. If the person really wants to do practice pure devotion, they want to do Garbha, they should go through the process of Garbhadan Sanskar. That means they should take the shelter of the spiritual master, beg his mercy, request. The spiritual master will pray for the devotee, and then the devotee and husband and wife, they will both come together and they'll have a beautiful son. It's a very practical science. And then for that, you need to have an environment. For that, you need to have a community. For that, you need to have a place where everyone staying together. If you have some problem, that problem is solved immediately if you're staying in a community. But if you're not staying in a community, if you're staying in an unknown place where it is difficult to make even prasad. So at that particular place, it is hard to cultivate the science of Krishna consciousness. For you, you're still in that bachelor stage. My best my best suggestion as a brother is come to India and then get settled in India.
Thank
And
you,
then
Prabhuji.
do simple is see, I'm also living. I can
Mm,
sustain. You can also sustain. There's no problem. So I have a family of four. You're only one. You can sustain very easily. I'm sustaining with a family of four. I'm not working also, but it is sustaining. So you can sustain. There's no problem. But in US, you have to maintain so many things. It's what this, that, so many other things. It will be very. You should take the decision. And the decision is taken, then things will shape up nicely.
yeah. Thank you, Prabhuji. I hope you know about me everything.
I know everything
So
about you. That's why I'm telling you.
so yesterday only my H1 got picked in lottery, Prabhuji. So I get to know that news yesterday only. So I told you everything what is running in my mind
Correct.
from past a few years. I have been in this Krishna consciousness from like almost 2 years, but I want to stay at here for a few years and want to get back definitely to India to join in the communities and want to keep my atmosphere, surroundings, everything with the Krishna consciousness.
Yes, because your
Yeah.
surroundings will be great. Because
Mm.
everyone are practicing Krishna conscious, and then you will also practice Krishna conscious. Your
Mm.
surrounding will be great, and then easily you can practice the science of Krishna consciousness. So, and then you'll get a service you can do happily. For live and lead a simple. I know who you are. That's why I'm telling.
Mm.
So cultivate that consciousness, cultivate that desire, whatever you are anchoring, cultivate that deep desire.
Sure, Prabhuji.
Eventually, you'll come and
I
then
don't want to get out of from this chain. I want to hold like a baby hold mother's hand wherever
correct.
he goes, right? So I want to be in same situation with this Krishna consciousness. I don't want to be out of from this anywhere.
Very nice. This is the time because if this time is missed,
Yeah.
and let's say you did not get married to a devotee, you got married to a non-devotee. It's difficult.
Yeah, you
That's
know about
another
all
thing
these
that we
things.
discussed. We discussed about that also.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
so I tell all practical things to practice the science of Krishna consciousness. We have facility, we have environment, everything. All it requires is a desire to practice Krishna consciousness. If you have a desire to practice Krishna consciousness, everything is ready. Just you need to have a desire. If you have a desire, I want to practice pure devotion. If you have that desire, everything is manifest.
Yeah.
Problem is that with that desire only, that desire will not come. If that desire is coming, which I see in you, the desire is coming. Please cultivate the desire more. Hear more, more. Continue daily hearing. This this desire will manifest.
Yeah.
Then you can come in a year or two. Get settled. Hare Krishna.
Whenever I feel like I'm little bit deviating from the Krishna consciousness, automatically eye drops will come from my eyes. So these kind of things will happen for me.
Hare Krishna.
Thanks.
Thank you, Nana. Hare Krishna. Anyone else? Otherwise, I'll stop it here. Okay. Thank you all very much. If I caused you an inconvenience, please excuse me. I'll stop it here. Shira Prabhupada Maharaj ki